Hey there, class. Mr. Busky here. Hope you're having a good day so far. We're continuing with Chapter 8. We're talking about parallelograms today. There's some properties of parallelograms. Basically, there's the definition of parallelograms is opposite sides are parallel and congruent. Yeah. But basically, the definition is that opposite sides are parallel. But yeah, so we have a quadrilateral flowchart for this chapter. And there are properties to different types of quadrilaterals, which are all kinds of shapes that have four sides. And so, yeah, let's get right into it here. Like we talked about, a parallelogram is a quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides parallel. Okay. All right. Other properties of parallelograms is that opposite sides are congruent. So we're just going to fill in these blanks here. We have PQ congruent to RS, and QR is congruent to PS. Okay, so these are congruent. Let's use different colors, actually. These are congruent, and these are congruent. Okay. Also, another thing, so opposite sides are congruent, but also opposite angles are congruent. So angle P is congruent to what angle? Well, opposite from angle P is going to be angle R. And opposite from angle S is going to be angle Q. Okay, so we can do the same kind of thing here. These are congruent, and these are congruent. Okay, so those are the biggest properties of parallelograms, what we're going to be using today. And so we need to kind of know those ideas to be able to figure out how to solve for missing variables. Okay, sounds good. Let's do an example here. It says find the values of x and y. So we have this parallelogram over here. Well, let's see here. So we have x plus 6 and 13 are the only sides we have. Are those opposite sides going to be congruent, or are they going to be something different? They're going to be congruent. So if they're congruent, we can set them what? Set them equal. So we got x plus 6 equals 13. How do we solve for x now? Subtract 6. We get x equals 7. Ta-da! That's it. And y is even easier. So what do we know about, we have angle y here in 68 degrees. Are those opposite or consecutive angles? Those are opposite angles. So are those going to be congruent or supplementary? They're going to be congruent. And you'll see what I mean by supplementary in a second here. But if they're opposite angles, they're going to be the same, which means they're going to be congruent. And that's it. All right, what I just kind of mentioned is kind of the other property here. Consecutive angles, so basically angles that are kind of side by side like this or kind of like this, are going to be supplementary. They're going to be what? Supplementary. What does that mean? They add up to what? 180 degrees. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see here. Yeah, if you want to try to pause the video and see if you can figure this out, it shouldn't be too bad, but otherwise we'll go through it in a second. All right, so let's go ahead. We're solving for x, y, and z. Looks like we have x, we have 2x minus 3 and 37 are opposite sides. Are those congruent or supplementary? Well, not really. Sides can't be supplementary. They're going to be congruent, right? Because opposite sides are equal. So 2x minus 3 equals 37. Now we just solve for x by adding 3. 2x equals 40, divided by 2, get x equals 20. All right, sounds good. Now, we can kind of approach y and z in a couple different ways, all right? So we can do the supplementary thing, which we might need to do, but for now, what do we notice about 123 and y? What kind of angles are those? They're opposite. They're across from each other, right? So opposite angles are going to be, are those congruent or supplementary? They're congruent, right? So we know that y, if that's 123, y also has to be 123 degrees. All right, now z is a little bit different. What I mean by second is angles that are side by side. So z is side by side with this, and it's also side by side with that, right? So what do we know about consecutive angles? Well, they add up to 180, they're supplementary. So z equals, we can either do 123 plus 123 equals 180, or we could just do 180 minus 123. So z is going to be equal to 57 degrees. All right, awesome. Sounds good. Okay, why don't you guys go ahead and do the checkpoint? All right, sounds good. So we have this one here. So we have opposite sides are congruent. So we know x plus 6 equals 18. Subtract 6. X equals 12. And we know that y is across from 68. And opposite angles are going to be congruent. So y is going to equal 68 degrees. Awesome. Okay, next, new property. If a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its diagonals bisect each other. They what? Bisect each other, okay? So QM is congruent to SM, and PM is congruent to RM, okay? So basically, these are going to be congruent, and these are going to be congruent, okay? So that means it splits them right in the middle, so they're congruent on either side, okay? So let's go ahead and do one of these. All right, so we're looking for UN. We know that UN is 2x plus 7. We know that NW is 4x minus 5, and we're looking for UN. Well, we know that these are congruent, right? If this is a parallelogram, the diagonals, which is from corner to corner, are going to be the same, right? So what we can do is we can set them equal to each other. So this is 2x minus 7, or plus 7. This is 4x minus 5. And we can set them equal because the bisects means that they are equal. 4x minus 5 equals 2x plus 7. Why don't you guys pause the video, see if you can solve this from here. So we subtract 2x from both sides. We get 2x minus 5 equals 7. Add 5. 2x equals 12. Divide by 2. X equals 6. Are we done? We are not. We're looking for UN. I should box that. We're looking for UN. Well, UN is 2x minus 7, right? 2x plus 7, I mean, sorry. So we're going to plug in 6 for x. And 2 times 6 is 12. And 12 plus 7 equals 19. So UN equals 19. All right, I'm going to leave it zoomed out there. Why don't you guys go ahead and see if you can figure out number 2. Okay, same thing here. TB is congruent to BB because these are diagonals, so we can set them equal. So we got 4x plus 1 equals 3x plus 4. Subtract 3x. We get x plus 1 equals 4. Subtract 1. X equals 3. Are we done? We're not. Looking for TB, and in this case, TB is 3x plus 4, so 3 times 3 plus 4, 9 plus 4, and we get TB equals 13. All right, sounds good. Okay. Yeah, if you want to try this other example, go ahead and give it a try, see how you do. All right, so if it's a parallelogram, we're finding MH and FH. Well, MH and FM are going to be congruent because they bisect each other. So MH is going to equal what? If FM equals 5, then MH equals 5. And then FH is all the way across. Well, 5 plus 5 equals what? It equals 10. Awesome. All right, and in summary, just kind of what we talked about so far today. Opposite sides of parallelograms are parallel and congruent. Opposite interior angles are congruent. Consecutive interior angles are supplementary. And diagonals bisect each other. And those are some of the big principles from quadrilaterals from today. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and we will talk soon.